Baseball game at Bristol Motor Speedway did not go off without a hitch, Grant.
No, it had quite a few.
Yeah, you're shaking your head in sign because that heavy rain, it continued, and so it forced the game to be played on Sunday, but worth it for the Braves.
Yes.
A small win. The Braves win 4-2. Grant McAuley, our Braves insider, and he works for 92.9 The Game as well. He is here with me now. Grant, it looked really cool. It seemed very cool, but there were a lot of issues with this baseball game. What are your overall thoughts?
Well, I think it's always worth it if you can find a way to promote the game and to put it in front of an audience that's rabid for it. And clearly, if you got 85 or 90,000 fans there, they are. You need to make sure those fans are fed, though. That would be number one thought. But with the nachos with no cheese, the hot dogs with no buns, probably not going to do it. But for the baseball, you could have done without the rain, but pretty amazing to see what they were able to build there and to watch this kind of a showcase that had a lot of bells and whistles. We just, again, could have done without all the rain delays and all the things that went with that.
Our sports photographer, Chris Colt, was there and did an awesome job at shooting the video and displaying just how amazing this looked like inside a racetrack. I know the guys were fired up for it. So was the manager, Brian Snicker.
It was great. It was a great atmosphere. I think it's just a shame last night. It was, if we'd had a beautiful evening last night, I think, it would have been even more exciting. But you know what? Credit to both teams' players, how they came out, and it was a tough-fought game. And them guys laid it out there, and nobody was bitching about, we got to stay here another night. And they went out. I think you saw two really good ball clubs going at it, and them guys on both teams, they got a lot of respect for both clubs of how they went about that game today.
Joining me right now from Bristol Motor Speedway is Gabe Burns, covering the Braves for the weekend for the AJC. Gabe, great to see you as always. This has been an unbelievable experience, not just for Braves fans, but baseball fans in general. 4 years in the making, this baseball game. Walk us through the experience of the first ever Major League Baseball game at a racetrack.
It was a lot. It was unlike anything else. They announced in attendance over 91,000 people. I think that, there were definitely some mixed experiences from some people. They ran out of food last night during the rain delay. Some people complained of parking issues. So it was a bit overwhelming for everybody, I think. But ultimately, I think MLB did a great job setting this up. I think that they picked the right two teams for this. It honestly, some of the atmosphere I would compare to a night game at LSU, a game down the road here in Knoxville. I mean, it had that type of SEC feel to it. And the Braves can forever say they won the first Major League game in Tennessee. And I think that's pretty cool, especially since they consider this, pretty in the heart of Braves country.
Yeah, the visuals were incredible. Unfortunately, some things did go wrong, but of course they can learn from that if they decide to do this again. And you mentioned it, Braves in victory lane, thanks in large part to the rookie Hurston Waldrop on the hill. You talk about logistics. This was a kid who was supposed to pitch in AAA today, but instead his 2025 debut was in Tennessee at the Speedway Classic. How significant was this outing for Hurston?
Well, I mean, it's great for him. I mean, he's needed something like this to kind of, really put himself back on the radar, kind of have a spark. This team's looking for rotation options. I mean, he's sitting here and he's pitching and he's going, this is a tryout for me. This is an audition. This is a chance for me to earn another look. And considering the circumstances, he had to literally race to get here to pitch in this game. And how about picking up your very first Major League win in a NASCAR venue?
Let's talk about Austin Riley. He stretched out to tag Ellie De La Cruz in a rundown. It was an incredible play, but then he left the game with some lower abdominal pain. This is something that Austin has had to deal with before, and as of Sunday afternoon, very much a wait-and-see thing for Austin. How much do the Braves need to avoid losing Austin to the IL for a second time this summer?
Well, I mean, it would be a huge bummer. And Snit said they're going to give it a day or two and see, but I think right now we're fearing that, he will need some more time on the IL. Even if he avoids it, the fact that there was a scare here, it just kind of sums up this season, right? It's another feather in the cap of the 2025 Braves.
Eli White, who would have thought this guy would have a multi-homer game? He's a part of a trivia question now. He's the first major leaguer to hit a home run in a racetrack ever in the history of the sport. What is the significance of a game like this from Eli?
I think it's really cool because we have 90,000 people in a place. The majority of them are going to be casual followers. Unless you're, a hardcore Braves fan, you probably don't know who Eli White is. So it's actually a really cool moment for a guy who's grinded through multiple organizations. I think it's really neat that he got this moment, that he got this national attention, that he got to enjoy it. It's his second career multi-homer game. His first came in June of 2021 when it was his first career homer and his second career homer. So to have have one here, that's pretty freaking cool for him.
One of the weirdest baseball seasons that I've covered during my time in Atlanta, and it is now summarized in a multi-homer game by Eli White at Bristol Motor Speedway. Gabe, thank you so much. Great job reporting out there.
No problem, Maria. Thank you.
All right, back here with Grant McAuley now. Grant, a really quiet trade deadline for the Braves. I know fans kind of upset about that, but perhaps there were no moves to be made for Alex Anthopoulos. What do you think about the trade deadline?
Yeah, the silence was very loud, I think, for the Braves in this particular case because it felt like they had some pieces that they could trade, but I didn't think that they were able to find the takers that they needed for it. So ultimately, as Alex Anthopoulos laid it out, we're not going to pay our guys to go play somewhere else and get nothing for them. That I don't think should surprise anybody because when is the last time the Braves have done that? The answer is never. I'm skipping ahead to let you know. It's just not the way they think. Now, could they or should they have gotten something for at least Raisel Iglesias? I think there's a very strong case to be made. I don't know what the offers were, but I'm sure teams called and acquired. They may not have liked what exactly it was being offered. And ultimately, it takes two teams to make a deal, as cliched as that sounds.
It's true,
and the Braves just didn't find a taker.
And Alex Anthopoulos says that a lot of times
He
is
does.
that you need another trade partner in order to make something happen. Let's go really quickly with this last part that there's only been 7,000 injuries to this Braves baseball team this year. It's been very frustrating to the rotation, to different stars that have been struggling. Is there any chance of these guys turning it around this year?
No, but I think that in the final couple of months, there are some things that you can do to get yourself set up for the winter. And that's what I asked Alex Anthopoulos about after the trade deadline. What are you looking for this winter? How pivotal, how important is it? And it's very. And he said, look, our offseason basically starts now. The discussions do anyway. They weren't going to make all the moves at the trade deadline they need to make, but it let them have some discussions. And obviously there'll be a free agent component to that as well. And we'll see. But I think it's pivotal, crucial, important across the board for the Braves to make some big decisions for 2026.
What an important offseason it will be, but we're not there quite yet. We are going to get to Grant's game changers on the other side of the break. Stay with us.